Uh, Hello, can you hear me now? Gentlemen? Okay, perfect. Sorry for this interruption. Apparently, when we wanted to share, we weren't able to basically share. Now I think it's going to be all right. The technical team helped me to share the whole chapter. This is chapter 3, as you can see. Sorry for the interruption at the beginning. So let's start this chapter. As you can see, leveraging technology is the title of this chapter. Objectives will be, after reading chapter 3, you will be able to discuss overall trends in internet access, usage, and purchasing around the world, define emerging economies, and explain the vital role of information technology in economic development. So more or less, as you can see here, we are going to talk about different economies, different potentials, and how different internet usage in different countries can create an opportunity for marketing to basically bloom. Everything in this chapter will be about the potential technology base of different countries, how they're gonna basically be ready for such a huge transition. Outline how e-marketers apply market similarities and analyze online purchase and payment behaviors in planning market entry opportunities through the information that they get out of this basically technology-based information and so on. We have other objectives as well, as you can see here. How e-marketing strategy is influenced by computer and telephone access, credit card availability, and attitudes toward internet use. A slow connection speed, website design, and electricity problems. The next step will be reviewing the special challenge of e-marketing on wireless, and the last one will be controversy related to digital divide. So, for starting this chapter, we really need to basically have a very good example to basically start and initiate the whole discussion. What we have here is the Viva, basically the FIFA story and what happened in FIFA at the beginning, and then how they could basically transform to what they are nowadays. You see, Federation International, the football which is association, which is this abbreviation of this FIFA, partnered with Yahoo to create the most popular sports site in history. When it happened around 2002, as you can see, FIFAWorldCup.com was seen by 3.7 million people from 17 countries, May 1st to June 23rd, 2002. For that period of time, this is a significant number. This is not 2012, this is 2002. You see, in that time, which is the beginning of the whole emergence of internet, early ages and early years, definitely 3.7 was a significant number. Site offered continual updates of information, photos, and video highlights. These are all for attracting more customers and online viewers to come and log into the website and being the potential customers. Do you think FIFA's subscription model, which was $4.95 to $19.95 based on how much video access you wanted to have for US sport events, was a proper basically approach? Did it work or not? And do you think which one could be a better offer? So if you have any idea, based on just this information that you have, we are not talking this in detail. What we are trying to find out here is just basically getting some basic idea of what you think that in that period of time, 4.95 is going to work, or 90.95, and this is based on how much access to internet is needed. And you have to pay attention to this point that this model was a new model, and that time not all of the customers were perfectly mature. So what do you really think what basically people had to do that time. So if there is anybody who's interested to talk, please raise your hand. Okay. None of you guys, you have any idea what is happening? Then Nuristani, you're one of those that at the beginning usually, okay, Mr. Obaidullah Faisal is saying, how do they earn this money by people visiting the website? Is it based on how much access they have to videos that FIFA website, World Cup website was providing for them? Yes, exactly, subscription for getting those. So Nuristani, any idea from you? Mr. Nasir Ahmad, Mr. Ubaidullah Faisal already asked a question. How about the rest? This is just a beginning. You don't really need to give me a complete answer. People were supposed to pay, Mr. Ubaidullah. Yes. Mr. Nuristani, so I chose you. So what do you think?
Well, sir. This. Sorry, sir. Hello.
It is, Mr. Mustafa Ghaffari, yes, it is a very good sample of e-commerce.
Yes,
we don't exactly know the detailed information, Mr. Asif. It was what you see. You can just look at this case study. It's a very brief case study. It's about the beginning of the emergence of the internet, and then how a website, a specific organization, tried to use the maximum possible outcome. Mr. Nuristani, do you have any idea?
Sir. About what, sir? About this online payment?
If Mr. Nuristani is talking, I cannot hear at all. Mr. Nuristani, are you talking?
Yes, I'm talking, sir. What was your question, sir? Hello?
Unfortunately, today, apparently, there are significant problems. So, I cannot hear Mr. Nuristani at all. So, in that case, okay, unfortunately, I cannot hear. Maybe there is a, let me double check the system. Mr. Nuristani, try to talk, and then okay, let me double check.
Sir, you are hearing me?
Yeah, I can hear now. Mr. Nuristani, please talk.
What was your question, sir? Sorry.
No problem. Mr. Nuristani, yes, you were saying? Now I can hear you properly.
Sir, if you ask your question once again, so
my question was, looking at this small sample that you can see, which is the case study about FIFA story. And the fact that it happened all around 2002, which was early age for internet. And they tried to get the maximum possible potential customers by offering them different videos online. And that they were ranging from $4.95 per subscription or per video, whatever, to $19.95. It can be a weekly subscription, it can be a monthly subscription, or anything like that. Anyway, they have such a range. Do you think which of these specific? You have two different range, $5 almost to $20. Do you think at the beginning of the internet emergence, which one is going to work more and why? And you have to consider this fact that not everybody in that beginning stage is mature. Customer is not mature in that level. It means not lots of people are used to paying online or getting used to getting anything, any services or any product online. So in that case, when there is no familiarity, you think which price will be more accurate and why?
Sir, the price is the low. Whenever we want to capture the market, first we have to offer the low price with the best quality available. But since, as you said that it was early age regarding the usage of internet while subscribing a video, so I would prefer to say that we have to free of cost for a few week or like sampling in order to have the idea. After that, we should slowly and gradually put a specific payment for the subscriptions. Whenever we have captured the market, so we can raise our price whenever we want, sir.
Okay, very good.
At the beginning, we have to be a little bit cautious about the pricing, as well as we are. It was a new dimension in the internet marketing, and people were scared to invest. So they say that maybe the website or they take our money and they don't offer that specific service. So a little bit people were a little bit cautious than these days. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. No, nice. As usual, a very good comprehensive answer. I really like everybody to contribute like Mr. Nuristani. So please, I got to know Mr. Nuristani is interested to talk when he showed his eagerness to talk. So the rest of the students, if you just raise your hand simply, you will be recognized as well like Mr. Nuristani, and definitely I will try to use you in different discussion, basically, whenever the contribution is needed. Thank you so much. Yes, as you said, usually at the beginning when the maturity level is low and also the whole media and trend is a new thing, you basically need to go for a very, very conservative approach, which is offering the lowest possible price. And as people are going to get used to what you're doing and so on, over the years you can increase the price and make more profitable market. I can see Mr. Nuristani said Facebook owners make money from ads, seller pages. Yeah, exactly. This is Mr. Ahmed Nikpour as well. They could develop in short time in all over the world. Nowadays, if you have a significant new idea in online, basically dimension, and you can work on it in a way that nobody has been working before, definitely in very short period of time you will end up having a very good profit. This is the difference between this new media and other traditional media, which makes the internet different from the rest. Okay, thank you. Let's go further and see what's going on next. Worldwide internet usage. There are some information that definitely can help us to understand more about basically the capacities that everywhere in the world you can find based on the internet usage. Because if there is no internet usage, if you don't have lots of people using the internet, so how are you going to have your e-marketing really developing there? So that is a significant informational statistic can help you. Exhibit 1 is something in your book that definitely you don't really have it here. So we just look at the information that is available, that there were over 785 million internet users worldwide. When this is related to early ages, which is around 2000, 2002, 2003, definitely the internet users are much more nowadays. Just Facebook has more than 1 billion users, which means that there are just 1 billion in the world that they have Facebook account. As you know, not everybody has Facebook account. So when just one website, which is social network, can reach 1 billion, which out of 6, one has it, definitely there are lots of other websites that they are going to be used by. So definitely the number nowadays is more, but this information is around, as I told you, early 2000. So basically that is quite understandable. But not all of these people are perfectly balancedly and fairly distributed all around the world. We have some countries that they have the maximum number, but other countries are not really. As you can see, worldwide usage more than doubled from 2000 to 2004. You can see over just 4 years, worldwide usage at the beginning of internet age, this growth is even more. The reason why we had significant higher usage like in just 4 years is because internet just came to the picture. So there are lots of people that they don't have it. So there is a huge room for development. That's why in 4 years, come like that. It never happens again now. In 2013, whatever it was, it's going to be a slightly more in 2014. And the reason is simply because now there are not lots of room. Basically, there is no huge space in room or room for improvement, because now already most of the people in the world, whoever who could have it already had it. So there may be more people to join, but that won't be significant like this 2004. Asia alone, with 243 million users, has the highest number of users. It's quite understandable why Asia. You have two countries, India and China, both in Asia, with almost population of 1.5, almost China, as well as 1.23 India. By itself is around 2.45 to 7 billion people, and which is almost 40% of the whole population of the world. So having just these two countries in Asia can be a very good determinant to have the maximum user in Asia. These 243, again, I repeat, this is not an updated figure. This is a very old figure, but again, if you look at all of these figures, they all increase. So then basically there is a very good proof to show still Asia has the maximum number of users all around the world, simply because of the population of Asia. North America has the highest penetration of users, almost. The penetration of users means in terms of how much they can add in a short period of time. In Asia, we had so many people using, but this increasement wasn't really much. But in North America, in Canada, Mexico, and the United States of America, this penetration happened much faster. Please, everybody, put your thing on silent. I think, Mr. Riaz, I have your voice. Please make sure that you're on silent. Mr. Riaz? Okay. Let's go further. Internet use definitely varies by countries. We are talking about, we just explained for you how it will be regionally different. Like North America is almost 70% penetration rate, while they are, again, one of the main contributors, but they are not the maximum. The world's largest online markets are the US, 186 million users. This is by country. And China, 96 million. But the fact is, the biggest country in North America, is the maximum number is 186, but this is the only country with another two countries. But if you look at China, China is like just one of the countries in Asia that can contribute, and it's 96. So you can simply see what is the difference in terms of continents. So definitely Asia is going to be all the time the top one. So the top 10 countries account for 62.4% of all global users. Again, you can see we have 196 to 197 different countries in the world, okay? And just 10 countries almost capture more than 60% of the whole global users. By itself, it shows how significant it is, the contribution of these 10 countries, and how the internet penetration is low in the rest of the world. So this is all because we need a specific technology and technology infrastructure for internet to be used. And if we don't have it, we cannot have people using internet. So it's simply the reason why there are lots of countries in the world that they don't even have the access to internet. Some of the smaller countries such as South Korea and Iceland, as you can see, have the highest penetration, over 70% of the population. 70% of the population in these countries, they have internet access. That shows a significant high penetration rate. Okay? Let's go further and see more statistics about internet and other countries. You see, this is a very good table to show you. First, we have two different categories. We have first countries ranked based on the number of internet users, which is the left column, as you can see here, left column. And we have right column, country's percentage of population internet users. That shows their penetration rate. How many of those people in that country basically using internet? So the percentage. So you see, you may have China 1 billion, 1.4, and just 80 million. Just we saw the statistics. So you see, percentage will be very low. It will be around 10%, less than 10%. While US, the population is around 300 million, but 185 million are going to be basically users. So you see, percentage will be around 64%. So that is another criteria that we can basically do comparison. Because it's not right to just look at solo number, because not all of the countries have the same number of people. So population is different, so percentage is the right way of doing the comparison. So if look at the first column and second column that shows countries ranked based on number of users, you will see United States of America on top, China, Japan, Germany, India, United Kingdom, South Korea, Italy, France, Brazil. This ranking definitely changed when it comes to the population percentage. Look at South Korea, which was by 32 million internet users, the seventh of the first column is going to be now the first one, because the population of South Korea is much less than the rest. So when 32 million users are there, that shapes 74% of the population. So that significantly shows how high penetration rate of internet is in South Korea. We see then Iceland with 70%, Norway, one of the Scandinavian countries in north of Europe, 69%, Denmark, Sweden, they are all Scandinavian, Australia, 66, and you see United States, that was the top one, now is the number 7. It's very ironic and nice and seeing South Korea was number 7 in first column, now it's first, and now United States was the first one in previous one, now is number 7. It's just by coincidence, but then it's nice to have this coincidence here. You see number 8 is Netherlands, Switzerland, and Canada. You see in the second column and third and fourth column, we have countries that we don't even have them in first and second column, but simply because the penetration rate is high, they're going to be ranked high. If you want to compare countries, you have to look at these, okay? This is the right comparison, not the first two columns, okay? Do you have any questions so far? Okay, I can see some comments here and over there, but there is no significant question here. So I continue. So let's talk about developing emerging economies as well as undeveloped or developing economies. There are different types of economies, as you know, and definitely they have different basically rates of internet usage as well as penetration. Developed economies. Developed countries are highly industrialized, use technology to increase efficiency, and have a high GDP per capita. Western European countries, North American countries, Japan, Australia, and New Zealand. They're all part of developed countries. So the high industrialized nation usually have perfect infrastructure and higher technology access. And that definitely gives them the higher chance to use anything which is dependent on those technologies. Internet is one of those. That's why you can see these countries are idealistic for the e-marketing activities. And that is clear because when people are having enough infrastructure, having proper technology, so they have the access to internet. Internet needs a platform, which is that technology. And so by having that, they can be much more activated in terms of electronic marketing. Let's look at emerging economies. Let's see what is happening there. How low levels of GDP have a low level of GDP per capita and are experiencing rapid economic growth. These countries are like China, Brazil, Mexico, India, Russia, and so on. You can see we put them. They can be found, as you can see, on every continent. We have China in Asia as well as Russia, which is the Euro-Asian countries. We have Central and Southeast Asian countries like Malaysia, as well as Singapore, Thailand. We have Mexico and Central South America. Mexico is a very good country to show emerging economies in that region. We have Baltic states in Eastern Europe, Russia, and all of those former Western Soviet, states that nowadays are independent, like Lithuania, Estonia, Lithuania, and so on. And some African countries, for sure, we have more than 50 African countries. We are not talking about all of them. Some of them are on the right path, but definitely there is still a significant difference between African countries and other countries all around the world. And Mr. Faisal is asking what is GDP. GDP is gross domestic production, and it shows the level of production internally by citizens of a certain country as well as foreigners working in that country. GDP usually is going to be explained, Mr. Ahmad Nikpur, besides GNP. GNP is gross national production. That usually is attributed to the national production of a nation, no matter they are living in that country or out of country. For example, GDP of Afghanistan will be the whole production, gross production inside the Afghanistan domestically, and as foreigners that they are working there. But GNP of Afghanistan will be just Afghan citizens that they are living in Afghanistan as well as other part of the world. Whatever they produce, that will be the. That's why GDP is a very reliable source to judge economical growth, not GNP. Because you may have a lot of factories all around the world, but they don't contribute to your own nation. They are contributing to other nations that they are working with. Okay. Mr. Farid Ahmad, not gold, gross domestic production. Okay. Yes. Gross, Mr. Abdul Khair. Yes. So I think now my explanation was, I do believe now you understood, Mr. Nikpur, what GDP is all about. Okay, if you have any extra question about GDP, please ask now. If not, I'm going to proceed to the next slide. Mr. Nikpur? Any question about GDP? Okay. Thank you. So far we found out what's happening in developed economies as well as emerging economies. Let's go further and see how technology plays a significant, important role. So you see, the internet accelerates the process of economic growth. This is a significant fact. The reason is, by internet you can simply have more transaction going on. Simply means e-commerce can be part of your GDP. So if you have a better internet access in your country, better usage of internet, definitely better opportunity to make money and make growth. And so the economies that they are using that and more than the rest, they're going to have a better growth. You see, for example, Bangalore in India is the center of India's explosive growth in software and IT. So it shows that significant relationship between this IT and software engineering as well as software programs and so on, and the relationship that they have with IT and applications that can be developed through them, can create this significant opportunity for this Bangalore in India to contribute to the GDP of the country. Greatest obstacles to e-commerce in emerging economies usually are a slow connection speed, because infrastructures are not properly done, cost of domestic phone calls, still not proper telecommunication infrastructure. So even fixed phones are still one of the significant problems for this country. ISP costs, internet service provider, if you're in case that you're asking what is ISP, and lack of local content and content in one's own language. You see, not everybody is having the proper knowledge of English. Definitely officialized internet language is English. Most of the websites in the world, they're going to have English as one of the main languages, as well as other languages that they have. So if you are living in a certain area, you can have access to your own local language, but still, English is going to be one of the significant languages that can help you to have access to the rest of the world. Okay, so you see all of these different problems in terms of internet infrastructure can cause technology failure and as well as lower internet usage, and can basically decrease the growth in terms of basically GDP. It could be much more if we had an infrastructure. One of the problems of India that India has been dealing with for a long time is still infrastructure. India has a very good potential because of high population. Means whatever you do in India, you can still make money. But the problem is lots of businesses and industries that have the basic problems in terms of getting the proper infrastructure in terms of electricity, water supply, or other supplies, energy supplies. And still, this is one of those actually backlashes for India. They cannot properly give the full opportunity to India to grow faster and in higher speed. So let's talk about credit cards and e-commerce payments. Okay, this is another aspect of basically e-business and e-marketing. I can hear a little bit noise. Please make sure that you're all mute. Convenience and ease of transactions are two of the internet's greatest benefits. You see, you do things over the internet because you believe internet can give you a benefit that maybe traditional or face-to-face older style couldn't. One of the basic benefits that you can have over the internet is convenience. You don't really need to go to a significant shop face-to-face to buy an item, talking to the seller and make it happen. You can simply sit at your home, order whatever you want over the internet nowadays, as far as there are lots of e-marketplaces all around the world, lots of e-marketing websites, lots of shopping malls that they have everything there, e-marketplaces, shopping centers, as well as any retailers that is online. So all of these are going to help you to get the best out of this possible opportunity. So ease and convenience are two main benefits that everybody is going to get over the internet usage. Credit cards and secure online payment systems are also the basic of web-based transaction in developed countries. This is one of the main problems in internet is still people have trust issues in internet. They believe that if they go over internet, they want to do something, their information may be is going to be stolen by somebody else or another third party and can be abused. And that is one of the reasons why they're not really willing to. As a matter of fact, there is a possibility of abusement of the information, but not all of the websites have that chance on that thread. If you are aware of the possible scams and do the right things when you are doing any transaction online, so most probably are going to be significantly secure, but still that is one of the problems. Marketers must analyze relevant buyers' behavior within the market. Usually it happens because they can then serve them much better. If I know what type of people usually buy online in a specific area or a specific market, how much they usually spend, how frequently they buy, all of these patterns, statistical information that comes from their purchase behavior can help me to serve them better. That's why marketers need to analyze these relevant buyers' behavior. Number of credit cards in circulation as well as consumer attitudes towards credit, all going to be two significant criteria under the analysis of the market. A very basic thing, you know how common it is in your area to use credit card to buy anything online. That will be the number of credit card circulation in that specific area. How much people are applying for credit card and how much they're using it online. And as well as consumer attitude toward credit that I just told you. They have credit card, maybe they are using it in traditional form. They are not still willing to pay anything online because of the reasons that I just explained for you. So all of these things can be other reasons. I hope by now you already understood whatever I've been explaining in detail. I can look at the chat box and see if there is anything that I can maneuver on it. Mr. Mustafa Ghaffari is saying China had less internet users than US but had much higher economic growth rates. Okay, first of all, the economic growth that you're talking about China is recent years. That information is about a long time ago. China most probably is one of the toughest now internet users in the world. So do not compare now economic growth of China with what is the internet usage of them in like 10 years ago, 1 decade ago. This is the first point. Another point is, again, the population of China is significantly high. It's the most populated country in the world. And this still, for reaching 60 to 70% of internet usage that in US you have, China has a long way to go. But again, internet usage doesn't necessarily mean that your GDP or economic growth is going to be more than other countries. Because internet usage is just one of the criteria for you to understand what is the possibility of having electronic commerce. That's it. It doesn't mean that everything is going to be highly affected by that. So I want you to differentiate these things, Mr. Rafoi. By the way, this is a true fact that there are significant number of internet users in US or economical growth. Because again, I told you, you won't see that much economic growth in none of developed countries simply just because there is no room for more improvement. Okay, these economies already have been growing for a long, long time. They are the most glorious economies of all time. So when you are the best in the market, you cannot simply have lots of more improvement to go through. But China has been industrialized since last 20, 30 years ago, and then still have a huge way to go, and that's why all the time the economic growth is going to be high. Okay, so the more developed economy you are, the least chance of having high economic growth. Simply why? Because there is no more room for improvement. But you can simply have a plus economical growth to show that you are not in recession or decline. Thank you. Let's go further. Technological readiness influences marketing. For sure, one of the reasons that you can be significantly successful in marketing is how much technologically you're ready to go for marketing. What do I mean by that? Means if you want to have the marketing online, do you have really a proper access and use of computers and telephones in your area? You have high internet connection costs. If you have high internet connection costs, most probably people are not going to use the internet. So when they don't use the internet, the chance of them buying anything online is going to be lower as well. So you see the significant relationship. On the other side, if the speed of internet connection is very low, so again and slow, again that will be another negative impact. And on the other side, the power of supplies, has to be predictable. If it's not predictable, means it's varying all the time. It's varying all the time. That will be another negative impact. So, for being a nation which is going to be supplied by lots of electronic marketing practices, you have to have the proper infrastructure. And that is simply why we say all of these impacts have to be positively there. So, Ubaidullah, I do believe there is I don't know whose microphone is on. Please make sure that you are right. Okay. Let's go further. Mr. Nisar, guy, I need one more member for. Okay, this is something. Maybe simultaneously you can do this, no problem. Sometimes I believe that this is a question or something. So I can see on top, Mr. Khabir is asking a question. What do you think percentage of internet on economic growth is, and percentage of what internet? Internet usage or internet penetration? And also, is this growth can be substantial in countries with higher level of education or population? Or definitely, if you have, simply the answer is there. See, when you have higher internet usage, means there's a higher chance of doing internet e-commerce, while it could be zero chance of using e-commerce when you didn't have that internet access. So when you do more e-commerce, means more chance of making trade and transactions and more prosperity for the economy. Simply yes, for the first one, there is a high relationship between the percentage of internet usage or internet penetration and economic growth for sure. On the other side, you're asking about this growth can be substantial in countries with higher level of education population. Definitely. The higher the literacy rate is, the higher the internet usage, and as well as the higher internet purchase and any transaction. So again, it shows the significance behind that. Okay, Mr. Abdul Khabir, now did you get your answer? Okay, Mr. Okay, Mr. Nuristani, I take your advice. Mr. Nuristani is asking us. I don't know, it's kind of, uh, it seems, okay, we try our best to finalize this slide, Mr. Nuristani, then you have time for prayers. Uh, Please wish us good when you're praying, Mr. Nuristani. Oh, okay. So if you really think that it's kind of, because now it's okay, now you can go for prayer. Doesn't matter if because we started a class a little bit late. You can go for prayer now. I can give you that 10 minutes that you're looking for. So yeah, you can go for break. I will give you the break for 10 minutes. See you after 10 minutes, guys. No, it's okay. It's okay. You can go, and then we can have it. No problem. So 10 minutes later, I will see you. Thanks. Welcome back. Guys, can you hear me? Okay, perfect. So let's continue with our chapter. We let's in this part we are going to explain the computer and telephone. Before going for this part, is there any question? Please ask if there is any question. If not, we can go to the next level. Okay. Thanks, Ms. Vida, as well as Mr. Abdul Khabir and Mr. Muhammad Asif. Okay. This is just for making sure everybody is on track. Let's talk about computers and telephones and how significant they are in the whole process of internet and internet marketing. Computer access is unevenly distributed throughout the world. This is a fact. You see, there are still countries like Myanmar or Burma, which is the old name, that they basically using internet in those countries are crime. And so definitely internet cannot be even an option. Okay, in countries like Myanmar, because dictatorship, which is governing country, is wants to suppress and repress the people in a way that they cannot have access to any news and so on. Access to the computer by itself is crime and something against the rules and regulations. So just imagine what will happen to internet. So when you don't have proper access, how you want to have the internet? So computers and telephones are two basic infrastructure, telecommunication, as well as IT infrastructure that can help us to have a better internet marketing potential. And again, there is now we are talking about an exhibition that you don't have it here, but just shows computer ownership data for selected countries. And definitely we have different ownership all around the world. There's a significant relationship between how developed your country is and how much computer ownership is. Like, because definitely in more developed countries, we will have more computer ownership. That is a fact. And explanation of that was already there. I already explained for you. And the more computer usage, the more internet access, the more e-commerce, the better prosperity. Simply by not having computer and computer infrastructure, you are excluding the country of having a proper, basically economical growth, just simply by not having access to internet marketing and internet electronic commerce. Many consumers in countries with emerging economies access the internet from free-standing shop rather than homes. That is again another specific, basically, trait of these emerging economies. You see, in these emerging economies, you may not have all of the houses basically equipped with internet and so on, but you may find lots of places, public places, restaurants, and shopping malls that they have access to internet, and that can cause people to have proper, basically, internet usage. Telephone by itself and connectivity can be scarce and expensive in certain countries, and again, you see, telephone can be a very good foundation for mobile commerce. Okay, so not necessarily now that everybody has to have laptop or a computer or PC at home in a fixed manner to be able to connect to internet. You can simply have a phone, which is a smartphone. As you can see nowadays, the smartphone trend is everywhere, and you can simply have your own internet accessibility to your telecommunication service provider or your internet Wi-Fi in different places that they provided, and simply get whatever you want through internet. So you see, telephone infrastructure or mobile infrastructure also is going to be another significant basically criteria for the whole internet and electronic commerce. Internet connection cost is, as we explained before, by itself is one of the dilemmas that in some countries it may cause problem, and it may restrict and limit the number of people that they have access to internet. Still, there are countries in the world that dial-up system is the most common way for them to connect to internet. As far as now, dial-up is the majority of even emerging economies and developed countries. Dial-up system is almost an old-fashioned, out of the basically discussion system. We can see Mr. Mohammed Asif is saying that now still in Afghanistan you're using dial-up. Dial-up is the basic foundation of internet access long time ago. Now the majority of actually countries, developed for sure, and emerging economies as well, even some developing countries already passed this certain era. Okay, broadband and mobile phones are now the most common one in developing countries, and quickly. I don't know about Afghanistan, basically broadband and mobile phone. Do you really have mobile phone or broadband in Afghanistan? Please let me know what is really happening. Some they said that we have DSL. It used to be DSAT or basic satellite based. Okay, it is very expensive to have that. Some of them said 3G is available. Okay, third generation is one of the ways that you can access. For example, basically the way that now I'm connected to internet is 4G. It's the fourth generation. It's even not one generation after 3G. And I'm connecting from Malaysia, so this is how Malaysia you can get a huge, vast variety of internet connections, from fiber optic based fixed phones to different type of broadband systems, as well as 4G and so many different types. And they're all, the reason is the infrastructure is already there. So, okay, we see yes, but don't have good signal. Oh, yeah, one of the, you see the significant important factor in mobile commerce is mobile coverage. You see, still most of the mobile systems in the world are based on BTS system. Okay, and then this BTS system means there is an antenna somewhere, and this antenna can cover. And because there are lots of different altitude and latitude for areas, like Afghanistan is a country with lots of mountains and so on, BTS system definitely cannot be a good solution. Definitely BTS in Afghanistan is one of the main ways of having this mobile, and that caused lots of places in Afghanistan to not be able to be covered by mobile. So when they are not by mobile cover, you cannot expect them to have mobile commerce or internet link or any basically broadband through mobile system. Thank you for sharing what is really happening in Afghanistan. Okay, so broadband and mobile phones connections are, as I told you, are developing they are actually increasing developing economies, and dial-up connection charges vary considerably in emerging economies. Some economies that they just started having that, definitely dial-up connection still they are super expensive, while in other countries that they had that for a long time and when the system is already there, it's going to be much less expensive. Okay, look at here connection cost in Arab countries. You see we have 22 different countries that are speaking Arabic, but we have more than 55 countries in the world that they are Muslim, but 22 they're speaking Arabic. Here, basically we have like around 10 to 15 of them. You can see ISP charges and telephone charges. In a country like UAE, it's almost the same. In Egypt, you can see ISP is much less than telephone charges. In Kuwait, the same. Oman, again, the same thing like Egypt. The differences are significant. Some countries like Morocco, the difference is significantly high. You see, the lower the price and the charges are, the better infrastructure that country has. It can be because of subsidies as well, but usually subsidies can cover to some extent, to some level, but then the rest ensure that how much that significant charges are. And these are in US dollar. You can see in a country like Morocco, we have the maximum charges around more than $70 for telephone charges, while we have ISP charges around less than 30, way more than 20. And Bahrain the same, like in Egypt is the lowest one, UAE as well, most they are not even reaching $20. ISP Internet Service Provider, as I explained for you Mr. Saeed Ahmad before, Internet Service Provider, this is the old version of, you see when we have all of these dial-up systems, usually they work through ISPs. ISPs are those companies that they get like for example, huge number of telephone lines from the basic telecommunication company in that country, and they have a huge, for example, broadband of internet, and they basically distribute this internet to more clients. So these internet service providers are those mega companies providing this. This is more and before the dial-up connections and so on. Nowadays they are not doing it as well. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Ghaffari, to all the time writing the explanation there as well to help the rest. So again, Mr. Abdul Khadir is asking a question. Sir, how are the charges fixed? What do you mean by charges fixed? And is it based on countries which has a satellite, ISP charges, and countries which don't have? You see, usually how much you're charging in your telecommunication system or any other things that you have is based on how developed your system is. The lower the development of your system, infrastructure, and telecommunication or anything else, the higher your charges are. The countries that they've invested more on telecommunications, usually they have lower charges. Basically because they can have better supply and demand is cannot even keep up with supply. So a very basic equation in economy tells you that when you have lower demand lower than supply, so definitely prices are tend to be lower. And you see the countries that they have less development, less infrastructure, less supply of that will cause the price to go higher. So simply by looking at Morocco, you see definitely less infrastructure. That's why it's more expensive. There are other different reasons that why price is higher, but this is the main reason. Mr. Mustafa Ghaffar is saying, sir, in this table, the costs are counted on monthly basis, or there is no significant information here. I can tell you based on that. But it can be an average cost. It can be monthly because you usually have all of the bills coming to you monthly or twice, and each 2 months once. So it can be either 1 or 2 months. But usually, I think there is a high chance of that being 1 month. But again, there is no information, so we cannot for sure say that. I mean, I heard that, okay, Mr. Abdul Khabir is still saying, I heard that when the ISP companies buy the bandwidth, they say some of the international ISP services providers charge lower than others. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you see, again, based on what type of supply you have, your charges are going to be different. Even in a significant, for example, a specific domestic area, you may have different service providers, and they have different prices, and simply because they have different access and different supply package. For example, let me talk about Malaysia. Two main provider of now fiber optic based internet with higher speed is Telekom Malaysia, which is TM. Another one is Astro, which is doing it. Astro is a company here that provides satellite TV services for people. This company, what it does is it has an basically contract with two big companies. One is Maxis, which is one of the most famous mobile telecommunication companies in Malaysia, as well as another company named Time Company. These two companies they are in contract with the Astro. So Astro provides packages that they are including satellite TV as well as internet usage. So this Time Company, for example, using its own infrastructure, its own cable system and so on, so it's going to charge a little bit less than when you get this basically services through TM, Telekom Malaysia, and the system that they call it Unify. So you see now two main contributors in the market for higher speed fiber optic based internet in Malaysia are Unify from Telekom Malaysia, as well as Time and Maxis company to Astro. Okay, again, because they have different access and different supply systems, they're going to have different prices, and simply this is the reason. Yeah, over there, Mr. Asir is asking why UAE and Qatar have only ISP, not telephone. No. You see, when we have Egypt and Qatar, you see the black covering the gray, means the charges are almost the same. It doesn't mean that they don't have it. Okay, Mr. Asir, did you understand? Okay. Okay, any other questions? If there is no more questions, we can proceed to the next slide. Okay. Thank you. So let's talk about connection speed and web design in different countries and how significantly they're gonna influence your basically internet usage. You see, most internet connection in developing worlds are still dial-up, and this is what we just explained. Connection speed has significant implications for website design. You see, if you are going to use with full potential website design, you really need the highest speed because you don't really want your user to spend so much time to be able to get be able to basically connect to your website and sync everything in full capacity. So if you have lower speed, you have to change your design to a much lower stack, and the reason is because lower speed doesn't really make users to be able to see everything in very fast period of time. So it makes them to be bored. If you have a very significant, sophisticated, complicated design, which is going to definitely take much more time to be able to open it, it will be a difficult thing for customers. So that will be a negative point for them. You see, very simple. When you design a website over internet, which can be accessed through your laptop or your PC, the website design is different from when you're connecting through a smartphone. and simply because the smartphones have different capabilities, and that site design has to be customized to phones. So as simple as that, you see, websites design have to graphically and also sound-wise have to be adjusted to the area that people are going to use it. Some websites have different customized versions. If you are from different part of the world and you're connecting with a very low speed, they usually offer you a lower spec. When you're coming with a higher speed, automatically it goes to the maximum spec possible. And simply because they want you to get the information that you're looking for in maximum fastest agile manner. Google Simple text-only format supports rapid download worldwide. This is one of the reasons why Google never go beyond what they have now, and you simply, whenever you put Google, you will get a combination of Google, but in different shape, is this. Because Google wants everybody in the world to have the maximum, the fastest possible access to that website. So no matter what you're doing, you need some information search, you need a search engine, and why we make it complicated? So it's better for Google to make it as simple as possible. So that is why you all the time see Google. Google could easily have all of this, basically different type of advertisement and so on on the first page, but they don't do it just simply because they want to make it possible for you to easily access that. High speed access is gaining momentum worldwide. So this is kind of a reality. The inertia of using higher speed and higher access all around the world is the momentum, which means it's happening, and it's going to be faster and faster. More countries are going to be involved, and simply because infrastructure is better, and countries are more into getting that happen. Look at the broadband penetration for selected countries, and you can see broadband is again one of those later generation of dial-up connections. Not dial-up connection. After the dial-up connections, we have 3G and other generation of internet and telecommunication system that came to the picture. Broadband is one of those that works through the mobile telecommunication system. The countries like Italy, Hungary, China, Brazil, Bulgaria, Colombia, Turkey, Russia, and Nigeria are here. And then we have the broadband subscription as a percentage of total population in these countries. You can see Nigeria is one of the African countries as the lowest one. See, Nigeria is one of the most populated countries in Africa with 180 million people. And you see, it will be very difficult in this country to have high percentage. Most of the people are in the rural area rather than urban area, and even in urban area, we don't have really proper access to the fundamental infrastructure which is needed. Look at Russia. Russia is a country with a population of almost 200 million, and definitely again you can see less than 200 million, around 160-70 if I don't make a mistake, and 2% again is making that just around 15 maybe or 30 million, 3 million access if I don't make a mistake. Yes, again Turkey again 0.03%, which is 3%. Look at the highest one, which is Italy, 77%. Hungary is one of those poorest countries in Eastern Europe. Still, you can see in terms of percentage of total population that use the broadband services and subscription is top 2. China is 3rd, and the rest. Brazil is one of those emerging economies that every single year they're going to have significant growth. You see, they are going to host World Cup football next year, as well as 2016 Olympic. So that by itself will help them significantly to be even growing much faster. Okay. Mr. Mohammed Asif is asking me in which country internet is cheap. This question actually cannot be a right question to ask. Because first of all, what do you mean by cheap? How do you define cheap? Okay, cheap for you as a foreigner or cheap for the local? We cannot really simply say cheap. If you are saying that in terms of how much people or the income level or purchasing power of people and income of users The more developed your country is, definitely the lowest the prices is going to be in your basket of family. Means you can earn more, and internet usage is going to be much lower. No, no, no. It's not about low cost or cheap. What I'm trying to say is it's a subjective thing. You cannot simply say cheap. You have to say, you have to look at different criteria, like purchasing power, income per capita, and so on, and see how much, for example, an average family of four, for example, in US can gain, and then how much will be the price over there, and the percentage-wise can be a good way of judging. Okay? Yes, Mr. Asif. I hope that you understand. Okay, Mr. Riyadh is saying, if you can give me time, so I will give you some information to my classmate in 2G, 3G, ISP, said because I have worked for more than 5 years as telecom engineer. Why not, Mr. So if you let me to finish these two slides, then you can, I can give you time to Mr. Riyadh to talk about that. So just give me a moment. Let me finalize this, then I will give you the chance to talk, Mr. Riyadh. Thank you. Okay, other issues that we have in related to internet, electrical problems can pose another challenge for e-markets. That is definitely e-marketers, definitely one of the dilemmas that e-marketers they have. Electrical problems can be simply the infrastructure in terms of electrical thing in the country. The lower it is, the worse it is, the lower the chance of using internet properly, because you just imagine there are still countries in the world that they don't have the 24 hours electricity available. They have to go off certain period of time, and that definitely makes electronic marketing, which was supposed to be 24 hours available, much limited. So this is one of the reasons. Lack of electricity can force an e-business offline. This is simply clear. Explosive diffusion of cellular, basically telephones, which is mobile phones, is changing e-marketing dramatically, and this is how it's going to change it, because e-commerce is going to mobile commerce. Mobile commerce now is a very, very sizzling topic to do research on it. If you're interested, that will be a significant basically topic to work on it. Mobile commerce definitely is replacing electronic marketing in a traditional way. Countries with emerging economies can leapfrog industrial countries in terms of usage. That is simply because the eager to use this is more, and short messaging services, SMS, is very popular worldwide. This is another basically outcome or consequences. But one of the basic consequences of having this mobile system available. So SMS marketing, viral marketing can be basically spread faster, and then it can be not only an issue, it can be a helping basically element. And the last but not the least will be the digital divide, that e-marketers must consider the social environment in which a business operates, which country you're operating, what social issues you're dealing with. This is one of the external environmental factors that you have to deal with. Culture, everything is going to be influenced. So as e-marketer or electronic marketing practitioner, you have to pay attention to that. Disparities with regard to technology access can create a digital divide between countries for population. This is clear. If you have if you don't have proper technology access and infrastructure, definitely you cannot reach the maximum potentiality of yours in the countries that they have this problem. And the digital divide raises challenging questions for global policy, international business, and entrepreneurship. Simply because the level of basically infrastructure all around the world is different. So the global approach toward internet and electronic global internet and global internet usage and e-commerce is very different. So we'll have these differences in international business just simply because different countries have different infrastructure. So entrepreneurship will be limited as well, because when you don't have proper infrastructure, if you could be one of those entrepreneurs that could have his own online website, which was all about innovation and creation and entrepreneurship, couldn't happen. Look at all of these entrepreneurs in the world of internet. They are all coming from the basically developed economies, specifically from US, as one of the pioneers in using internet. Simply just because the infrastructure was there. Okay? So by finishing this, simply we finish our chapter today. Thank you for your attention and so on. If you have any questions, please ask me now. If not, we will ask Mr. Riaz to explain the part that he is interested to explain. Thank you, Mr. Mustafa Ghaffari. I'm happy that you enjoyed the class. I hope the rest of the class enjoyed as well. I did my best to make you really enjoy the class by making it as much as possible interesting. Thank you all for listening. Yeah, it's very kind of you to endorse this fact. Thank you so much. So I do believe there will be no questions. So I'm going to ask our friend to basically explain the part that he was interested to talk. So the class is all yours. After your explanation, we will have basically Mr. Riaz. After you, we will finalize the class. Thank you so much all. And this is Mr. Riaz explaining about different telecommunication system and as well as this is his area of working. Mr. Riaz?
Hello, sir. Yes, sir. Hello. Are you listening to me?
Yes, I can hear you. A little bit not clear, but I can hear you.
Thank you, sir, for giving me a chance. And as I told you that I have more than 5 years experience in telecom systems and technologies. And my background is engineering, and I am graduated from electrical engineering and currently working as a telecom planning and optimization engineer in one of the multinational companies here in Afghanistan. So I will just explain the technologies which are used in the world. So basically, when they start and like we have different kind of technologies for mobile, for the local. Yes, yes, sir.
Sorry to interrupt you, but apparently the voice is not really clear. I don't have it really clear. I can see there are lots of students claiming so that they cannot hear you properly. So I don't really know what is the problem. If it's because of microphone or anything like that, I really appreciate that if you can take care of that.
Now it's clear, sir?
Yeah, please keep going. If there's anything wrong, I will ask you to.
Okay, sir. I will start, as I told you, that I will explain the different technologies which are using in the world for mobile and for the home telephones, for local telephones, and for the internet services. And there are 4 kind of technologies. Like before, when this telecom came to the world in 1980, it was analog systems. Like we have the old phones which are in the houses. And it was analog system, so you can just talk to each other to the telephone. And there was fixed cable system. So every house has a connection like to a junk cable, and that was connected to the another office and then to the company. So everywhere this was a cable connection system. So after this, and the GSM came to the world, it was not like fixed cable connection. You can talk without cable, like you can put your SIM card in the mobile and you can talk. And this is called GSM technology, which is European technology. And after this, when GSM launched, so after some years, they start the SMS services. So after this, you can just send and receive SMS. But as internet progress in the world, so they started in the mobile. So the SIM card. So firstly, there was GPS technology, which was using it to the internet, but this technology was very low. So speed was very low. So and I will tell you the speed which was using in the GSM. It was 9.6 kilobit per second, which was 2G technology. So the speed was very low, so you can just like use Gmail or something like that, but you cannot talk like Skype or others. So this was very difficult. So after this, then the other technology which came, it was 2.5G edge technology. So like you can see in the screen somewhere in the world, there is still 3G is not launched. You can see your mobile, if you see the screen, there will be like G, which is for GPRS, and it can E is for eGPRS. So the speed of eGPRS was 384 kilobits per second, which was much higher than the previous speed of the GSM system. So after this, the 3G came. Yeah. Are you listening, sir?
Yes. Indeed.
Yeah.
Yes.
So after this, the 3G came. So 3G is a high speed. It has the bandwidth which is using in 3G is 10 MB per second, which is very high speed. So you can use like Skype or Google Talk or Twitter technologies or Facebook. Everything you can use very fast. And the other technology which is using in like the houses, it was called PSTN technology. As I told you before, it was fixed cable lines. It was not like GSM, like they don't have mobiles. They have just connection in their houses. So, and there was another technology in America. It is just using in America. It is called WCDMA. It's not GSM. Like they have their own mobile, and their speed of internet is much higher than compared to the GSM technology. So this GSM technology, it is from Europe, and the WCDMA technology is from America. So here in Afghanistan, we have one company which is semi-government, like Afghan Telecom. It's calling Afghan Telecom, and they are using this WCDMA technology, and it has its own specific mobile. You cannot use their SIM in every mobile. Like we have sometimes iPhones or like HTC, etc. We have several kinds of mobiles which we are using, and we are putting our SIM card in each kind of mobile. And CDMA technology, which is American technology, it has its own mobile. So another technology which is using like ISP, it is taken from like VSAT, and it's just for internet, and the speed is more high compared to the GSM technology, CDMA, which is using in America. So these are just different kind of technologies which we are using in the world. Thank you, sir, for giving me your time.
Thank you so much for your comprehensive, complete explanation. I really appreciate your contribution. Everybody, if we have any part that you can do like Mr. Riaz, I will definitely be happy to give you the chance to talk. Thank you, Mr. Riaz. It was a great explanation. I think now basically everybody knows what happened and what was the chronicle and historical review of the whole telecommunication system, internet-based and fixed phone system. Thank you so much. So what we're going to do is, if there is no questions, we will call the day, the class. Let's call it a day if there is no question. Thank you everybody for attending this class. It was a very good class, and I hope that everybody enjoyed it. So if there is no question, we will finalize the class. Okay, thank you so much to everybody. Have a good night, and see you all next week, the same time. Thanks.